Once again, I remind you of what Jesus is saying to those who are listening to his sermon concerning the parable of the sower, Mark chapter 4. And Jesus says to them, to you it is given. To you it is given to understand and comprehend the mystery of the kingdom of heaven. And I've asked the question, it's the third time this week, what is the mystery of the kingdom of heaven? And we've gone all through the things that Jesus has said here concerning the parable, the interpretation of the parable. And then as he begins to talk about the candlestick, and he says, is it better to put the candlestick under a bushel or put it on a candlestick where it can be seen and observed? Well, of course, it's better to have the light. And that's what he's saying. And he said it's better to take the candle, light it up, so that all the world can see the light that it produces. And of course, this is given to us as an illustration of the church, as the church should be, that light, that all the world could see it and observe it. So, he says, concerning the very essence of the reality, this is not a secret. It's not being kept from anybody. It's there for anybody who has ears to hear and eyes to see. But then I ask the question, you answered. I said, well, why is it that some are not able to see, and why is it that some are not able to hear? Which takes us back to the parable. And he said, the reason why the seed in some situations did not bear fruit, he said, simply because of the things that's listed there in that parable, because some are offended, because they have been persecuted, they've had hard times in their life, they're bitter against God, and they've just given up hope. Cares of the world. There are some people who are so caught up in life, and if you ask them, are you having a good time? They say, oh, yes, I'm having a great time in life. And they're so far away from any spiritual reality because they're just caught up in their pursuit of pleasure. And no, at this time, they're probably not too concerned about their spiritual life. There will come a time in their life when they begin to realize that they are lost and undone, but it's not now. And then there's deceitful of riches. People are often so busy with life and wanting to make a living, to have a better life, they say. Want to have a better life. In other words, they equate a better life as having more things. And then he says, also the lust of other things. He says, that's why people are not able to see and comprehend and understand this whole spiritual realm that we live in. They're not concerned because their heart is caught up in a different facet. Jesus said, it's no secret. If anybody wants to understand the mystery of the kingdom of God, it's there to understand. But then there's got to be that desire and that spiritual intuition that would cause us to have a hunger and a thirst to be able to understand the mystery of the kingdom of God. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.